Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Nittani Draws. I'm Nittani, and today I am bringing you the introduction to The Artist's Way. I'm going to call this my own personal little creative cluster here. I'm hoping that more of you will join me in this little thing that I'm doing for myself here. There was some interest expressed in my vlogging this, and so I am going to. This is the first episode, and it's literally just going to cover the introduction to The Artist's Way. This is what the cover looks like here, or at least my version. I have an older version. I got it for a couple bucks on half.com probably 5 years ago, so it wasn't a very expensive investment. It looks like this copy was purchased at a Goodwill and then sold on half.com. So who knows where this book has been and whose hands it's been in, because it's in pretty rough shape at this point. But part of that is because I dog ear my books a little bit. So yeah. Anyway, today we're going to work through just the introduction of this book. It's written by Julia Cameron, and Julia Cameron is a screenwriter, and she wrote this and has a considerable following for this book. I did a little bit of like side research and stuff because I read a lot into books when I read through them. So here is what I have for the introduction, which is only like 5 pages long. So here are the quotes that I found the most interesting, along with the page numbers. The first one is, no matter what your age or your life path, whether making art is your career or your hobby or your dream, it is not too late or too egotistical or too selfish or too silly to work on your creativity. And that's on XII. And then the second one that I liked was, in a sense, your creativity is like your blood. Just as blood is a fact in your physical body and nothing you invented, creativity is a fact of your spiritual body and nothing that you must invent. And that's on XIII. And then there was a word, or a pair of words, that she used to describe her friend who helped her to create this book. And she called him a peripatetic Jungian. And I, of course, had no idea what that meant. So I went to the internet, and here's my notes. I looked up the definitions. Peripatetic is traveling from place to place, especially working or based in various places for relatively short periods. A Jungian is a follower of Carl Jung, who founded analytical psychology, whose focus was in individuation. His central concept, which is the process of integrating the opposites, including the conscious and unconscious, while still maintaining their relative autonomy. He considered individuation to be the central process of human development. He invented the archetype, the collective unconscious, the complex, and extroversion and introversion. And then I went further to define what those things are, because then I got interested. And the archetype is a highly developed element of the collective unconscious. Jung understood archetypes as universal, archaic patterns and images which derive from the collective unconscious and are the psychic counterpart of instinct, i.e. the mother, the child, the trickster, the flood, etc. The collective unconscious. Structures of the unconscious mind which are shared among a species. The human collective unconscious is populated by instincts and archetypes, universal symbols such as the Great Mother, the Wise Old Man, the Shadow, the Tower, the Water, the Tree of Life, etc. He argued that it had profound influence on the lives of individuals who lived out its symbols and clothed them in meaning through personal experiences. Extroversion and introversion. A central dimension of the human personality theory, although the popular and psychological usage differ from the original intent. Jungian psychology emphasizes the primary importance of the individual psyche and the personal quest for wholeness. Extroversion, the act, state, or habit of being predominantly concerned with obtaining gratification from what is outside of the self. And introversion, the state or tendency toward being wholly or predominantly concerned with and interested in one's own mental life. So that is what we have for the introduction. Like I said in my previous video, I worked through this a little bit when I was probably 19 or 20. I'm 27 now, and I'm a very different person from who I was when I read it the first time, and I think I'm a more dedicated, more focused person. I'm sorry, my dog's chewing a bone in the background, and if I stop him, he'll just be annoying, so I'd rather he chew on the bone. So yeah, I'm hoping that more of you will be interested in doing this and that you will work through this book with me. I'm totally, like, I would be thrilled to get video responses. It would be amazing to actually have a dialogue where we actually work together and go through this book, but I understand if it doesn't work out or if you're watching it like way later or something, but I would still be interested in seeing if you're working through it or if you had any interesting quotes that you enjoyed or things that this section opened up for you. This section's pretty much a beginner section, although the next section could be some fun areas for us to have some great dialogue. So if you have anything that you'd like to add to this conversation, or if you have a video response, or if you are working through this yourself and you would like to just chat at a camera and get this all out on paper, I would love to see it, hear it, etc. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you'd like to see and hear and how you're dealing with the artist way for yourself. And yeah. Anyway, I am going to go and get some more stuff done. And I will see you later. Bye.